WWE stars who left us far too soon. Their passion, their pain, and the tragedies that still haunt the ring to this day. 1. Eddie Guerrero, the heart that couldn't keep fighting. Eddie Guerrero was charisma personified. He made fans laugh, cheer, and love every lie, cheat, and steal moment. But behind the smile was a man fighting his own body and his own past. Eddie's rise to the top wasn't easy. He battled addiction for years, losing his job, his family, and nearly his life. But his comeback story in 2002 was the stuff of legend. When he finally won the WWE Championship in 2004, the crowd erupted. Latino heat had done the impossible. He was clean, focused, and finally living his dream. But his heart had taken too much damage. On November 13, 2005, Eddie Guerrero was found lifeless in his hotel room, the victim of heart failure caused by years of strain and past abuse. When WWE aired the tribute the next night, grown men cried. Eddie wasn't just a performer, he was family. Even now, every time you hear that Viva la Raza theme, you can feel the energy of a man who gave everything he had until there was nothing left to give. Number 2, Chris Benoit, the nightmare that changed everything. Chris Benoit was one of the most intense, disciplined wrestlers to ever step into the ring. A perfectionist, a machine, a man who demanded more from himself than anyone else ever could. When Benoit won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 20, tears streamed down his face. He had finally achieved his lifelong dream, and alongside his best friend, Eddie Guerrero, he stood on top of the wrestling world. But that same year, Eddie died, and something inside Benoit broke. In the years that followed, Benoit became distant, withdrawn, and obsessive about his training. Friends noticed the pain, but didn't understand how deep it went. Then came the tragedy that changed wrestling forever. In June 2007, Chris Benoit murdered his wife and son before taking his own life. The wrestling world was in disbelief. How could someone so respected do something so horrifying? Later reports revealed severe brain damage, repeated concussions that had destroyed his mental stability. WWE erased his legacy from history, and the tragedy forced the industry to finally confront its darkest secret: the toll of head injuries, loneliness, and unspoken trauma. Chris Benoit's story isn't one of evil. It's one of what happens when the human mind is pushed too far. Number 3, Owen Hart, the fall that shook the world. Owen Hart was born into wrestling royalty, but he never acted like it. Funny, humble, and loved by everyone backstage, Owen was the kind of guy who could make even the most serious wrestler smile. But on May 23, 1999, during the Over the Edge pay-per-view, the world watched tragedy unfold. Owen was set to make a superhero-style entrance from the rafters as his Blue Blazer character. But something went terribly wrong. The safety harness malfunctioned, and Owen fell over 70 feet into the ring, in front of thousands of fans. The world went silent. WWE continued the show, but nothing would ever be the same. Owen was just 34 years old, a husband, a father, and one of the kindest souls the business ever knew. His family never forgave WWE for the accident, and his wife Martha Hart spent years fighting to keep his name out of the Hall of Fame, insisting he would never have wanted to be honored by the company that failed him. Owen Hart's death wasn't just a loss for wrestling. It was a moment that exposed the dangers of spectacle and how easily showmanship can turn into tragedy. Number 4, Bray Wyatt, the modern monster with a broken heart. Bray Wyatt was a genius, a storyteller, a creator, the kind of mind WWE rarely sees. He wasn't just another wrestler. He was an artist building worlds through his characters. The cult leader, the fiend, the broken man behind the mask. But behind those haunting promos and cinematic matches, Bray was struggling. After being released from WWE in 2021, he disappeared for months. Fans wondered if he'd ever come back. Then in 2022, he did, in one of the most emotional returns in WWE history. The crowd roared, the lights went out, the world whispered, "He's home." But that homecoming was short-lived. In 2023, Bray Wyatt, real name Wyndham Rotunda, passed away at just 36 years old due to heart complications following a COVID-related illness. The news hit like a punch to the gut. The man who gave us nightmares was suddenly gone, leaving behind a legacy of creativity that WWE may never replicate. He wasn't just playing a monster, he was showing us what it means to wrestle with your own darkness. And in the end, that's what made Bray Wyatt unforgettable. Number 5. Chyna, the ninth wonder of the world. Before there was women's evolution, there was Chyna. Powerful, intimidating, and unapologetically different. She broke every rule WWE had for what a woman was supposed to be. When she debuted alongside Triple H and DX, fans didn't know what to make of her. She wasn't eye candy. She was muscle, dominance, and attitude wrapped into one. Chyna faced men, won the Intercontinental Championship, and redefined gender in wrestling long before it was accepted. But fame came at a price. When her real-life relationship with Triple H ended, and he began dating Stephanie McMahon, Chyna's career in WWE slowly fell apart. She was quietly pushed aside, then released. The years that followed were dark. Addiction, financial struggles, and a battle for respect consumed her. She tried to rebuild her life outside wrestling, but the pain never left. On April 20th, 2016, Chyna was found dead in her apartment from an accidental overdose. She was 46 years old. WWE eventually honored her years later, inducting her into the Hall of Fame as part of D-Generation X. But for many fans, it felt bittersweet. Recognition that came too late for the woman who had kicked down the door for everyone after her. Chyna wasn't just a star. She was proof that strength doesn't always come from survival. Sometimes it comes from daring to be different in a world that refuses to understand you. 5 wrestlers, 5 stories of triumph and tragedy. They gave us moments we'll never forget and lives that remind us even legends bleed, break, and fall. Their stories may have ended, but every time that bell rings, their spirits still echo through the ring. Kindly subscribe for more content like this, and check out our channel for more WWE documentaries.